It's hard to believe, but it's already week 7 of the high school football season, and tonight we come to you from Harmon Field and Wapakoneta for this Western Buckeye League matchup between the Celina Bulldogs and the Wapakoneta Redskins. Coming up next on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Beautiful Harmon Field in all of its glory. Welcome everybody inside this week 7 matchup between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Celina Bulldogs. Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler alongside you for it, and we welcome you into the Minster Bake pregame show. Seems like we say it every week, Paul, but big implications for the Western Buckeye League in this contest tonight, and we look first at the Celina Bulldogs.
Yeah, another week, another big matchup in the Western Buckeye League as these two teams are tied for second place. The winner still controls their destiny in the Western Buckeye League, and the Celina Bulldogs are a last-second field goal from Elida away from being undefeated in the Western Buckeye League. Head coach Brennan Bader is in his first season, taking over for Trent Temple, who laid the groundwork for a tremendous season so far for the Bulldogs. They're averaging 13 more points per game than they were last year, which is good for third in the Western Buckeye League at 34 points per game.
Cole Merlin, our player to watch for the Bulldogs tonight, Paul.
Yeah, and he's going to do a little bit of everything. He is the leading scorer in the Western Buckeye League at 99 points. The big 6'1", 205-pound senior with 11 touchdowns. Also their leading tackler on defense, and he kicks extra points as well.
And the Wapakoneta Redskins looking pretty impressive after starting the season 0-2.
Yeah, after starting 0-2, they've won their last 4, and with the exception of last week's 31-0 victory over Bath, most of them have been very tight games.
Riley Gibson, our player to watch for the Redskins tonight.
Yeah, probably the most athletic and explosive player for the Wapak Redskins. Riley Gibson, a junior, they like to get the ball in his hands a couple different ways. He'll run some deep routes and make some tough catches like we see there. They'll also get the ball in his hands running the ball from time to time as well. He returns kicks. He's capable of making plays on defense as well, as you see with an interception there. Big playmaker for the Redskins.
Let's look at our keys to the game. We start first with those Bulldogs.
First of all, they want to control the line of scrimmage. They're ranked 3rd in rushing, and they're going against the 3rd-ranked defense. They need to spread the ball around. They got several weapons along with Merlin. Dylan Hoying and Kyle Zisselman are also big weapons, and they need to be road warriors. 3 of their last 4 games are away, and they have not won here at Harmon Field since 2005.
And our keys to the game for the Wapakoneta Redskins.
They want to stop the rush. They are the top-ranked defense against the 3rd-ranked rushing offense by the Celina Bulldogs. They need to protect the football. They've given the ball away 12 times so far this year and are -8 in turnover ratio. And then finally, they need to win the big play tonight.
Sit back and relax, folks. We got a great one in store for you tonight when we come back here on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Here at Harmon Field, Wapakoneta Redskins, Celina Bulldogs on tap for this Week 7 contest. Eli Alvarez, Paul Sadler with you. The Bulldogs will get the ball to start the first half of play. Paul, very intriguing matchup. We expect it to be a close one, but then again, we expected last week's matchup against Elida and St. Mary's to be very close, and the Rough Riders ran away with it.
Yeah, but with that little hiccup aside, we've seen great games week in and week out. We look forward to another great one tonight.
As it's a beautiful night for football here in Wapakoneta. You can see our forecast for tonight, 71 degrees outside. Not a lot of wind. It's just a perfect night to go watch football here in the state of Ohio.
Our deep receive for the Celina Bulldogs.
So as you see, tonight's officials also displayed on your screen. Both teams ready to kick this one off, and once again, it'll be the junior Luke Beach to start this one off for the Redskins, as it's a line drive fielded at around the 10-yard line. And we'll see what kind of field position this Bulldogs offense gets to start off the game. As the ball is loose on the field, let's see what they say. Waiting for an official signal. Redskins say they have it. Nothing yet. And they're going to say Celina keeps possession, so almost near disaster to start the game for the Bulldogs, Paul.
Dylan Hoying apparently put the ball on the ground the first time he touched the football, but luckily for the Celina Bulldogs, they were able to maintain possession.
So our first look at this Bulldogs offense tonight, led by quarterback Brett Schwederman, the junior, doing a fantastic job orchestrating some drives this year on offense, and he's as dangerous with his arm as he is with his feet.
Yeah, they're a little bit more balanced than they were last year. They're still run heavy. They're second in the WBL in rushing, and overall they're fifth in passing, so a little bit more balanced, but still going to run a lot of triple option as they run out of the pistol primarily.
Talked about that 4-2 record, 4-1 in the Western Buckeye League for the Bulldogs, as Schwederman will keep it himself.
Take a look at the Celina starters. We mentioned Cole Merlin at the top as a player to watch. Dylan Hoying and Kyle Zisman, other two big players for them. Tyler Ross, Braun, and Houston are returning starters on the offensive line.
So 2nd down and 7 for Schwederman and his offense. A lot of targets out there for this explosive offense of the Bulldogs, but these Redskins showing they were capable of dealing with an explosive offense as they did with Elida a few weeks back. Here's a pass swung out into the flats, going for a 1st down.
And looking at Walpock's defense, again, a lot of experience up here. Evan Keck, Rob Gersner, and Jacob Place, actually the leading tackler for this Walpock defense at the linebacker spot. And obviously, always eyes on defensive ends Colin Goulet and Zach Miller, who leads the Western Buckeye League in tackles for loss and sacks.
1st down at the 45. Schwederman looking to throw. He's in trouble. He's going to try to use his feet, and he does for a nice gain across the 50.
And Schwederman is actually 10th in the Western Buckeye League in rushing, with 477 yards on the ground. Passes for 723, so passes just for a little bit more than what he does rushing. But last year they were ranked 9th in the Western Buckeye League in passing, so they have improved a lot throwing the football.
Schwederman will hand this one off to Cole Merlin as he gets the 1st down. Cole Merlin, a great athlete for the Bulldogs, but a penalty flag comes in late. We'll see.
It looks like it's going to be a 5-yard face mask is what the initial looks to be.
So If it is that, it'll add on to the already nice chunk of yards for Celina. And it is. So this is the Celina Bulldogs team that comes in. They've already surpassed the 2,000 yard mark total this year, and they're looking to get to 3,000 before the year ends.
And they are right up on the football. They do not want to let this Redskin defense relax and get its bearings.
Schwederman this time will hand it off. Coming the other way is Zizelman, and Kyle Zizelman gets up to the sticks just short of it.
And it's early, but Celina has to be pretty stoked at how well they're running the ball against this Wapak defense. Again, this is a defense that is first in the Western Buckeye League, giving up only 108 yards on the ground a game and only 3.4 yards a carry.
Second and short now for the Bulldogs. Schwederman will give it back to Merlin. Cole Merlin trying to get to the outside. He had the first down for a moment.
There's another face mask.
Another face mask, yep, coming in late, and that will help the Bulldogs continue this drive.
And we'll see if it's going to be another 5-yarder, if they're going to call this the big one with a 15-yarder. Talking it over right now.
Well, now let's see. As they continue to talk about it on the field, the officials. Big call.
Right now, it looks like 3-by-1.
Yeah, it's just going to be a 5-yarder. I was pretty sure it's Gersner that got his hand in there.
So this drive will continue. The Bulldogs.
Here we see a look at it real quick there by Gersner. Just put his hands out, just kind of grazed it enough, but he definitely turned his head. That's why I wondered if they were going to call it a 15-yarder, but only a 5-yarder, but still another first down for the Bulldogs.
Schwederman will keep this time, going up the right side, gets past the 20, and that's about it as he's gang tackled by the Redskins.
Yeah, but still just a nice little subtle cut. Prevented that from being a no gain and at least got a few yards out of it. He's kind of a slippery type runner as Schwederman.
A lot of these Bulldog athletes, not only football players, basketball players as well, and the Redskins know a little thing or two about that.
Yes, but all good things come to those who wait. You know, obviously we're neck deep in football season right now.
2nd and 7. Schwederman will throw this time. Now he decides to keep it. It was the wrong decision as he's going to be knocked for a loss.
Well, I'm not sure if it was the wrong decision. He did get hit by Derek Weinmiller on stepping up, but I'm not even sure he's going to lose any yardage. And really, that's better than going to be maybe a loss of 1, but still better than throwing the ball up for grabs in this situation.
So we'll bring up a 3rd and 8, ball at the 20-yard line. Still a pretty impressive opening drive for the Bulldogs. As the play clock runs down to 5 seconds. Schwederman rolls out, looking to throw. Now tries to cut it back, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss there, and the Redskins defense standing tall.
And that's the 2nd sack of the year for Colin Goulet, and he has to credit his teammate Bubba Miller for providing the pressure to make Schwederman go right into his path. And now you go from a 3rd and 8 where you might be thinking 4-down territory to now it's going to be 4th and about 14. They still might be going for it, but you would have liked your chances if you would have gotten some positive yardage that last play.
And that's exactly what they're going to do as the offense will stay out there.
Going to go 5 wide here this time.
So the crowd here on the Wapakoneta side starting to get loud. They want the ball. As Schwederman will throw. Looking deep down the field, and he's got his man, and he's got the touchdown, as that's Dylan Hoying for his 5th touchdown of the year.
And what a perfectly executed play and route. They stacked him on the right-hand side, and then he went into a post pattern in the middle, found a gap in the zone defense of the Redskins, and on a big 4th down conversion, the Bulldogs are on the scoreboard first.
It'll be Cole Merlin to come out and try to make it a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. 28-29 on PAT attempts, and that one is good as well. So 7-0, the Bulldogs have the early advantage here in Wapakoneta.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Dylan Hoying capping off a great opening drive for the Bulldogs. It was an 11-play, 69 yards, and the 26-yard reception for the young man has his team on top 7-0 early.
And they bounced back from a loss on that sack, and Schwederman with his 6th touchdown pass of the year. And then we should mention Merlin with that extra point scored his 100th point of the season already, and he leads the WBL.
After the Merlin kickoff, it's going to be Apple that'll bring it up to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Redskins will take over.
So the Redskin offense comes out averaging 28.5 points a game. Again, they are really strong on the run game, averaging almost 260 yards a game, which is 3rd in the Western Buckeye League. And overall in total yardage, they rank 7th, which is what they're also ranked in passing in the Western Buckeye League.
Brady Erb running the offense like he's been all year, doing a great job of it as he was kind of thrown into it at the beginning of the year, and he's really had to learn on the go, and you really can commend what he's been able to do this year for this offense after starting 0-2.
Something to look at right there. They're doing single coverage on Riley Gibson, something they might come back to a little bit later.
As this is going to be a handoff to Gerstner to start the first play on offense.
So some offensive starters here, and you see a lot of familiar names. They got 7 two-way starters as the Wapak Redskins. And again, some experience up on the line. Knieve, Moyler, and Jenkins returning starters on that offensive line.
So bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Redskins. Herb will go under center, and he'll give it back off to Gerstner, and Gerstner trucks a man before he gets down close to the sticks.
And the defensive starters here for Celina, they have 3 two-way starters with Ross, Merlin, and Hoying, who scored the touchdown, are two-way starters. Leading tackler on the team is Merlin. Molenkamp and Lim are tied for 2nd in tackles.
To bring a 3rd down attempt. The Redskins 32 of 60 on 3rd down conversions this year. Here's their first one of the night. As Erb will keep it himself, and he's got enough for the 1st down.
And that's a little bit of a trend breaker. We don't see Erb carry the ball a lot. He only had 55 rushing yards coming into the game, but they ran Gerstner in some short motion, making it think they may be running the pitch out to him, and then leaded Keck up the middle as a lead blocker for Erb.
1st and 10, Redskins out on their own 47.
So the Redskins offense trying to answer the nice drive from the Bulldogs, and they're doing a pretty good job of it so far as they're getting close to the 50.
And the Bulldogs having kind of a different look. They're normally a 3-man front, but now they have 5 down linemen.
Erb going deep for his receiver, and it's dropped as he was looking for Gibson, as Coach Moyer wants a penalty flag, but he's not going to get it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact, I think, on both ways on that one. Probably best that the flag stay in the pocket on that one, especially on an incomplete pass. But Chase Stevens was locked up, as we can see here on the replay, and you don't really see a little bit of hand fighting, but there's a little bit of hand fighting going both ways. Bottom line, ball ended up getting in there and was not able to be hauled in. So our player to watch, Riley Gibson, gets an early target.
We were jockeying for position on that play. In case it's
Only about 81 passing yards per game is the average for this Redskins offense. So they'll stick to the ground game here. A nice run once again, getting it close to the sticks, and that's what this offense can do for Wapakoneta, wear you down.
And you have some physical runners with Keck and Gerstner running the ball, and then you also have guys that can, make that explosive run with Mitch Apple, and then also Riley Gibson as well. But the big thing is after that incomplete pass, the 7-yard run makes it a 3rd and reasonable here for the Redskins.
Gibson all by himself as a lone receiver, and it's going to be a handoff to Keck, and he's going to try to fight forward to get the first down, and it's going to be very close.
And I tell you what, with that last surge, I believe he got it. He originally got stacked up, I believe, short of the sticks, but then he lunged for that little extra, although they look like they're going to mark it short overall, which I do believe he does need to. As you can see in the replay, he does need to get all the way to about the 43. It does appear they're short. I thought that they would get a measurement, and Coach Moyer does, I believe, maybe convince them into maybe measuring at least for the first down, or at least, listening to him, I guess.
Or not.
Or not.
As they will not measure, and it will be 4th down and 1. So the offense stays out there.
So both teams with a big 4th down, their first possession.
We'll see if Herb actually snaps the ball or if he tries to get the defense to jump offside.
Oh, I think they're going to run it here.
Play clock down to 10. Gives it to Keck, and Keck's got the first down for sure this time.
Now, once you're, especially in high school football, once you're in the other team's territory, if it's a 4th and short, it's usually a pretty good, they're going to go for it.
So both teams having lengthy opening drives here on offense to start the game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is the 8th play of the drive. And these are 2 of the top 3 defenses in terms of points per game given up. Celina gives up 21.5 and Wapak gives up 20.
Herb in the shotgun this time with Keck alongside him. And Brady Herb's going to keep it himself up the middle as he lunges forward across the 35.
And, coaches kind of develop their personality of their teams a little bit as the season goes on. They were not running that kind of stuff with Herb in the last few weeks, but, as some trust starts to develop between, Herb and the offense, they decided to let's put the ball in hands of number 10 a little bit, see what he can do running the ball, and that just brings another dimension to this Redskin offense.
Handoff this time to Apple, and Mitch Apple gets up past the 30 for the first down.
Inside the 30, picking up another Redskin first down.
So as you mentioned, another first down as this is a pretty impressive drive for the Redskins.
Well, and again, for Coach Moyer, just what a blessing it has to be that he has all these options on offense to give the ball. You got Gerstner, Keck, Apple, Gibson. I mean, a number of those guys and many more can handle the ball and get you big plays at any time. As this time the quarterback will keep it once again. Brady Herb, not much room to run. He's going to be tackled out of bounds, maybe a gain of 1 or 0.
Yeah, and that time Mullenkamp was able to maintain his contain of the outside and kept that to a, I believe, no gain.
And it will be 2nd and 10.
Second and 10.
We talk about this offense and what they've gone through after that 0-2 start. They've very much improved, and I think it's got to be, you got to look at the running game and how it was kind of not there the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got Gibson in the backfield, which is unusual.
As Herb throws to him coming out of the backfield, and he's hit immediately, a gain of only 2 or 3.
So again, trying to just put a little wrinkle in there. They put their wide out into the backfield, motioned him out and tried to get him into some space, but good closing there by Chase Stevens, able to make it to where he made contact before Gibson could get his wits about him to try to find something up the field.
So 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 25-yard line. One of 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight are the Redskins. The clock continues to run down. And now whistles blow.
A timeout by the Redskins.
Timeout by Wapakoneta. 7-0. Celina on top here in this first quarter. We'll be back with more here on Game Face Ohio.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Out of the timeout, big third down on its way for the Redskins as they trail 7-0 early in this first quarter. Brady Erb in the shotgun once again, looking to throw all the way here as he's got Apple open down the field, and Mitch Apple's got the first down, and he's going to be brought down at the 15.
And I tell you what, that was a well-timed route by Brady Erb, throwing out there to Mitch Apple on the comeback route to the outside. That's really tough to defend. You know, it timed up perfectly. The defender has to respect that you're going deep, and if you're going to go then cut to the outside, there's no help defense there as if you were going to the inside. So great call, great execution.
Big 11-yard reception there for Apple. This time it's going to be handed off to Mitch Apple, and he's going to get maybe 1.
Yeah, had some contact in there. Merlin initially was the person that was in there, and I believe it was Bryant that was in there to finally take him down.
So the clock continues to run down. Pretty quick quarter here to open things up at Harmon Field. This is still the first drive of the ball game for the offense. As it's going to be another handoff to Keck. He's got room to run. He's going to keep those legs moving, and he gets it down to about the 6-yard line.
Fights his way down, just outside the 6.
Well, if we can get a look there in the truck of the center before the snap, you know, it's an interesting matchup. At center, you have Wyatt Moyler, weighs 170 pounds, and the nose guard lining up against him is 315-pound Ian Hawkins. So you have a guy that is 140 pounds more with this matchup right here, right there in the middle. So he's going to really have to use leverage to be able to try to block that big man. In that case, they double teamed him.
Third down handoff to Keck. He's still fighting forward as the pile tries to move him, and he's going to be brought back. But did he get enough for the first down before his forward progress was stopped?
Well, they marked him inside the 4, which would be right there.
Again, it's going to be a close spot. And they want to take a closer look at it.
Official timeout for measurement.
As you see, he did a great job of getting that initial surge, and then the defense throwing him backwards.
Yeah, but obviously it's where your forward progress stops. So, you know, in this case, we'll see if it's enough for the first down. Looks a little short.
Just a little short. Great job by the guys to get that angle for us.
So for the second time in this drive, the Redskins are going to have a 4th and less than 1. Last time they gave the ball to Keck and ran off the right side. We'll see if they change things up.
Well, they're 4 of 7 on 4th down conversions for the year.
Does that include the 1-for-1 this game?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Simple math for
live stats.
Play number 16 on its way for this offense. 40 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
And again, both defenses are fairly stingy. They haven't out and out stopped either team, but they are making things much tougher, than they have been for them in previous games.
Stoppage for equipment on the Celina side of things.
And again, Celina boasts a pretty large defensive line. We showed Hawkins. Ross is 260, Legenkamp is 200.
So we'll see what they do. Clock continues to run. 4th down. It's going to be a handoff. Going forward, Evan Keck into the end zone. And the Redskins are a PAT away from tying this one up.
So both teams capitalize with a touchdown on a 4th down. Obviously, Celina's a 4th and forever. And then Celina and Wapak there, as we get a great look with our end zone cam, capitalizing on the 4th and short for the touchdown. That's Keck's 5th rushing touchdown of the year for the sophomore.
Gessler on to attempt the PAT. And that one is through the uprights. So we're all tied up at 7 here in this Week 7 contest between the Bulldogs and the Redskins.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you. Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs.
Back here at Harmon Field, Wapakoneta Redskins able to tie it up with 23 seconds to go in the first quarter, courtesy of Evan Keck and his 5-yard run. 16 plays, 66 yards on that first drive of the game for the offense. And now it'll be Celina's turn to once again try to put a drive together.
So again, 2 long drives for both of them, an 11-play drive for Celina and a 16-play drive for Wapak. And that's why there's only 23 seconds left.
Kick fielded at the 5-yard line, and the Bulldogs will now go to work, as this one will only be brought up to about the 25 for Dylan Hoying.
Nice play there by Isaac Meeks on the special teams tackle.
So this offense trying to duplicate what they did last time out, and that's score a touchdown. As they were out there for 11 plays, 69 yards, and capped it off with that 26-yard reception from Dylan Hoying.
And again, they're probably going to do it on the ground primarily. Their play selection, they had 9 rushes and only 2 passes. However, they actually end up with more passing yards because of the long pass than rushing. So, we'll see if that continues.
As this will be a handoff to Zizelman, and Kyle Zizelman trying to get the edge, and he'll be brought down by Mitch Apple.
Yeah, did a really good job getting the corner and running downhill, as that's going to take us here towards the end of the quarter.
So at the end of one, we're all tied up at 7 apiece in this Western Buckeye League fixture between the Celina Bulldogs and the Wapakoneta Redskins.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency, offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
First quarter in the books, 3 more to go as you get a nice shot of the Wapakoneta band as we continue this Celina drive, only their second drive of the game. As the first drive for them and Wapak took the entire first quarter almost, and now on a second down it's going to be short yardage, bringing up a 3rd and 1.
And both defenses are making the offense work for everything. However, they're looking for both defenses, the first actual stop of the other offense to try to force a punt.
Well, this could be it right here. We'll see what the Bulldogs come up with on this 3rd and 1 play ball at 35.
We got number 10, Merlin, right here in the backfield. Wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting the ball.
Schwederman will hand it off, and it's to Zisselman, and he's got the first down. Now he's got the edge as well, but penalty flags come in behind the play. Kyle Zisselman brings it up to the 40.
Well, I mentioned Merlin, and they end up running behind him instead. I think they're going to get him for a hold, getting his arms, or actually his hands around Gersner there as the lead blocker.
And that's what they'll call, so we'll move back and take away the play.
So, and that's huge because that was a 3rd and 1 that they would have gotten, it looks like, pretty easily. But now that's going to bring them back into more like a 3rd and 10.
This could be that advantage that the Redskins were looking for if they can get this stop here.
You can see here the replay right there, the hold.
And this is the Bulldog squad that fewest penalties in the Western Buckeye League coming into this contest. Only 21 for 170 yards.
Got a 3-man look rush here for the Redskins.
As Schwederman will throw, looking to go deep to Merlin, and he overthrows him, almost picked off by Apple, but he couldn't turn around quick enough.
Yeah, running about a 15-yard out route, and it looked like he would have been open, but an overthrow there by Schwederman, and Redskins are going to register the first stop of the game defensively as the punt unit does come on for the Bulldogs.
And will be Cole Merlin to punt it away for Celina. 16 attempts on the year. 574 yards, averaging 36 yards a punt.
As mentioned, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? As it's a low snap, but nicely handled by Merlin. He gets it off, and Gibson will field it close to the 40. Now trying to find some room to run. He bounces it to the outside edge and still looking to dance around. Finally goes down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like they had a return set up on the left side of the field, and it just took him a lot of time. Didn't have a clear route to be able to get to where the blocking was. There is a flag down on the far side of the field near the Celina bench.
Possibly just a sideline warning. That's what it is. You know, I feel like we see at least one of those a week, especially in high school football.
Must be a point of emphasis. There we see Brady Erb running on the field. Had a couple nice completions and a couple nice runs in that first drive that ended in 7 points for the Redskins. You see Bubba Miller in the backfield as Coach Moyer going to keep some fresh runners there for the Redskins.
This will be a handoff to Miller, and he's got room to run as he gets the first down and more up to the 45-yard line.
And when we were talking about different type of runners, obviously Miller is a much more, he's a physical type runner by every stretch of the imagination.
So that's another first down for the Redskins.
A 14-yard run there for Bubba Miller.
Well, Bubba Miller eclipsed the 100-yard rushing mark last week. Just a little over that now after that run.
So, and the Redskins, they do play a lot of guys both ways, but they do try to make them more 1.5-way players than full 2-way players.
As we've got a timeout taken by the Redskins with 10:52 to go in the second quarter. We're tied up at 7 apiece here at Harmon Field.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
Back here at Harmon Field, 7-7 is our score early in the second quarter. The Redskins trying to move it down and take the lead. First and 10 for Brady Erb. He'll hand it off. It's Miller once again, and once again it's a nice run for Bubba as he gets the first down. And a flag coming in late. And it looks like it's going against the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they're discussing. You know, what he signaled would not be what you would normally expect on a running play.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait for the referee to make the call.
Right, so if you go Merlin. Ball.
Okay.
Helmet contact, number 3.
So 15-yard penalty. Don't see that too often.
Well, there must have been a tackle where there was contact to the head, as we're going to see here on the replay. You can see Bubba Miller here right at the end. And, well, they're going to say led with the helmet, but I guess that would be erring on the caution of safety right there.
So first down for the Redskins. They're now in the red zone. Miller will get the carry once again. Why not? He's been great all night to this point.
Yeah, three straight runs, but this time this line of defense is there to make the play. And again, this is a run-heavy offense for the Redskins, but you look at their size, you know, this is not the same size offensive line as Wapak has had here about the last 4 or 5 years, where they've had really, really big offensive lines. They only have 2 guys that are over 200 pounds that listed as starters.
Miller and Apple in the backfield once again. This time Apple will get it. Trying to make a move, and he cuts up to the 15.
And then my point being, then you got a Celina defense that has several big guys on the other side. I mentioned before Hawkins at 315, Ross at 260, but Legenkamp's 200, Cole Merlin's over 200 pounds. There's some good look there at Coach Moyer. 4th year at Wapak, just an incredible record, and obviously a great run at Cyrus Wimford as well before this.
3 WBL titles for him in his first 3 years here at Wapak, looking for his 4th. As his team faces a 3rd and 6. Erb will throw, looking to go deep. Now he decides to go the other way with it. He can't go down too easily as he throws it deep end zone. He was looking for his receiver, Aaron Chambers, but throws it over his head.
But I tell you what, he did at least avoid disaster with the sack. Hawkins had him dead to rights, and he was able to escape his grasp so that they survived to fight another 4th down, as we have had 2 touchdowns of the game being scored on 4th downs. This one a 4th and 6. You know, you are in the middle of the field, you know, and a field goal would have been an option as well, but instead the offense remains out there.
Well, Luke Beach is 1 of 3 on field goal attempts. 29's his longest, but the offense is going to stay out there for the Redskins. And it's going to be Herb throwing once again. And he goes deep into the end zone for Colin Goulet. And did he make the catch? I think he did, but there's penalty markers down. Is it going against the Bulldogs, though?
We'll see what the call is, but that was a perfectly placed pass to Colin Goulet in the back part of the end zone. But it looks like Celina is applauding, so maybe it could be on the offense.
It is against the offense.
So Goulet was kind of in a battle there in the back corner of the end zone, and they're going to say he was too aggressive in trying to get open. Maybe we'll get a look at that on the replay. But that's going to negate, obviously, a touchdown and a tremendous pass. We'll see in the play action pass in the upper left-hand corner, you can see, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what that was
but
for.
Two officials threw the flags. But offensive pass interference is a big penalty. It's a 15-yard penalty. Now it's still 4th down, but now it's 4th down and closer to 20 from about the 30-yard line.
And it looks like the offense still out there.
Well, I mean, you don't really want to punt from the 30-yard line. And a field goal would be a 47-yarder at this case, so.
The third penalty for the Redskins.
Look for Gibson here on the near side, although they got double coverage on him this time.
As whistles blow, and Celina wants to talk about this one with 9:06 to go in the second quarter. Still tied up here in Wapakoneta, 7-all.
Bulldogs take their first time out.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here in Wapakoneta, a 4th down attempt on its way, a long 4th down attempt for the Redskins.
And obviously you would expect a pass here from junior quarterback Brady Herb. Mentioned Gibson as his leading receiver. He's on the near side. They do have 2 defensive backs assigned to him, so he's going to be double covered.
Wapak 2 of 2 on 4th downs tonight. Herb looking to throw it deep. He's got Apple down the field, but overthrows him, and Celina will get the ball at the 30-yard line.
Actually pretty well designed, but also well covered. You know, they tried to get Apple isolated with a linebacker with Chase Stevens, and he did. But Chase Stevens, although a linebacker, was actually a cornerback last year and was stride for stride with Apple. So good coverage, but they're trying to leak him out of the backfield. And it's well designed. And I mean, you could nitpick and say, well, if you threw it over the outside shoulder, he could turn and get, but you know, the way you practice that is over the inside shoulder.
So far for each team, we've seen a long drive into a touchdown and a defensive stand. As the Bulldogs try again with Zizelman, and he's going to be met by Apple and a host of Redskins, knocking him back at around the 30.
And Zizelman, one of the main cogs of this Bulldog offense, getting to the outside, got hit right away there by Gerstner. Kind of glad that we saw him get up right away, because he started to get bent backwards. That could have been ugly.
Zizelman, about 92 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, good enough for 7th in the WBL rushing wise.
So 2nd and 10. As Zizelman is next to Schwederman. Schwieterman will roll out to his right, looking for his receiver, and it's caught before being brought down by Sam Smith.
And just a one-man route running to the outside. Smith was isolated there on the far side, able to get a completion to move ahead a little bit. This is now going to bring up a 3rd and a short 5, call it 4.
Another big 3rd down for this defense. And the Bulldogs tonight 0 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. As Schwieterman will keep it this time. He'll option it out, and it'll be a 1st down for the Bulldogs as they keep this drive alive.
Yeah, and that's they ran that a lot more last year. That's just a good old triple option run to perfection by Celina, but they still obviously they have it and they can always go back to it. When executed correctly, a triple option is nearly impossible to stop because you have 3 different options that you have to play it correctly on the defensive side, and if you break down one of them, you can give up big yardage.
It's Dylan Hoying with the run for the Bulldogs as Schwieterman's going to keep it again. He's got Merlin to pitch to, but he says, I'll do it myself, getting across the 50.
And again, run the triple option. You know, what makes the triple option kind of unique is you're really not blocking 2 players. And the quarterback is reading those 2. The first one, he's reading to see if he's going to give the ball in the dive or not. If he takes the dive man, he keeps it. And then the next guy that they don't block is going to be in pitch. And if he feels that he's going to be taken, he pitches the ball. If not, he goes ahead and keeps it.
2nd down and 2.
To be clear, on a normal running play, there's always going to be one extra guy unblocked, but when you're doing it by design and reading that guy, it brings an advantage for the triple option team.
Cole Merlin finds a gap. He's still running past the 30, stays up now to the 25, close to the 20, and Cole Merlin, heck of an athlete for the Bulldogs, proving why they're on that run.
Yeah, he is the basketball standout for Celina, showing that he is an explosive football player as well, averaging almost 8 yards a carry is Merlin. And again, after that 27-yard gain, shows why he's the leading scorer in the Western Buckeye League.
Going quick, Schwieterman will hand it off to Zisselman. Looking to go outside, and he's brought down shy of the 20.
Yeah, Gerstner there with the stop once again, doing a really good job getting the ball to the outside and preventing anything big from going on there is Gerstner.
So we approach the 6-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. It's been a quick first half to this point.
Less than a yard on the gain on the play.
Second down and 9 for the Celina offense. Schwieterman will throw it out into the flats, and it is caught by Hoying, breaking one tackle, breaking another, and now he's knocked out with a big shot by Gerstner.
And a really good job by Hoying to get away initially, but yeah, he survived to get that extra yardage just to receive a shot from Gerstner. We can see this replay. This will be one of the bigger hits we've seen. He gets away from Apple, and then a clean shoulder shot right up to his shoulder pads.
3rd down and 7. Schwieterman gives it to Merlin. This time he's not going to get a big play as he's going to be brought down shy of the 15.
But still, he was able to get a couple yards when he received the defense right from the beginning at the line of scrimmage. So that is going to make it a 3rd and a little bit more reasonable than it could have been.
The offense will stay out there.
Pardon me, a 4th down.
Crowd starting to get into it. How about this? Merlin is going to throw to Schwieterman, and now Schwieterman dances, and he's into the end zone. A little bit of trickery there by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's what they would consider the Wildcat, having Merlin there at quarterback. When he's there, he is generally a runner, but in this case, they allowed him to throw the ball to the quarterback, Brett Schwieterman, and Schwieterman, we know, does have some moves, caught the ball in some space, and is able to get into the end zone. We can see right there on the quick pass, no one there, nice block to be able to spring Schwieterman to the outside for the touchdown.
Merlin stays on to attempt the PAT, and it's through the uprights, so it's a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs with 5:02 to go in the 2nd quarter of play here at Harmon Field.
The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today. Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
So the Bulldogs pull the Wildcat out of their hats and get the touchdown as Cole Merlin connects to Brett Schwederman on a 15-yard reception, capping off a 9-play, 70-yard drive to give the Bulldogs the 14-7 advantage.
Yes, and all 3 touchdowns in this game have been scored on 4th down.
As it's going to be a squib kick, and it's going to be fielded around the 30-yard line as they just hold on to the ball. And the offense trots back out there for the Redskins.
And Reed Miracle, one of the upbacks with the short return, but still good field position for the Redskins. Tons of time left in the half. Again, only the 3rd drive of the game so far for the Redskins. One ended up being a touchdown. The other one, after an apparent touchdown was called back of an offensive pass interference, was stopped on a 4th down.
So Erb and the offense back out there. And it will be a handoff to Evan Keck. Tries to bounce it outside. He's going to be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, it looks like that was Merlin. This time the person that threw the touchdown pass, making plays on offense as well, got into his legs just past the line of scrimmage for the short gain. And the Redskins are going without a huddle.
Handoff to Gerstner this time. He cuts it up the field, gets it across the 40. It'll make it a 3rd and manageable now. I think the question people had coming into this one, Paul, was are the Bulldogs really as good as their 4-2 record? And right now they're showing that they're a pretty solid team all around.
But again, both these teams are 4-2. And the Bulldogs' only losses was to Versailles pretty handily in the first week, but then they had the 2-point loss to Elida where they went for 2 to take the lead, but left enough time where Elida went down and got that field goal to win by 2.
3rd down and 4. 2 of 5 on 3rd downs tonight are the Redskins. As a penalty marker will come in. And I don't know if
we call it a false start.
Yep, that's what it's going to be. But to finish up the thought on the Bulldogs, they've got their toughest stretch of games ahead of them going forward, as they've got St. Mary's, then 2 road games to end the year at Van Wert and at Shawnee. So it's not going to be easy for them down the stretch here.
No, but obviously the winner of tonight's game, as both of these guys are tied for 2nd place in the Western Buckeye League, one game behind the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Whoever wins tonight still controls their own destiny by able to have that 1 loss and potentially knock off the Rough Riders themselves.
So on the 3rd down, Erb will keep it himself, and he's not going to get enough for the 1st.
So what they tried to do was to try to spread them out with trips to the far side. Then they went and did the quarterback keeper to the short side. Got some decent yards, but not nearly enough for the 1st down.
And now we'll see the punting unit for the first time tonight for the Redskins.
And obviously that false start was a huge blow for the Redskins. And we've seen that for the 2nd drive in a row. A penalty really derails the drive for the Redskins.
Rickenbaugh will punt it off for the Redskins. Takes his time with it, and it's a nice punt, going to be fielded around the 20. Fair caught And that's where the offense will take over after Hoyne deals with that one.
And we were talking about the Western Buckeye League, so let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. As mentioned, the Rough Riders, off of their impressive performance last week against the Celina Bulldogs, now you have Celina and Wapak as the remaining 4-1 teams in the conference, a game behind the Rough Riders. Celina has the Rough Riders next week coming to Celina, and the Redskins will host the Rough Riders in Week 10. So again, the winner of this game, if they can take care of business the rest of the way, can clinch at least a share of the Western Buckeye League without anybody else's help.
How about one of the biggest surprises of the year, the OG Titans sitting at 7th right now in the league standings.
You know, but their defense keeps them in games, and offensively, you know, Coach Schreiner has them doing some different things. I think they got Beamer playing a quarterback now for them.
Here's going to be a pitch to Zizelman, another flag coming in. Another big play, and we'll see if it's coming back.
This, I believe, is the 7th flag we've seen so far in the game. And it's going to be another hold.
Again, coming in, best team in the Western Buckeye League is in terms of penalties.
And so far, you know, the defenses are stingy, but ultimately it looks like the teams are stopping themselves with penalties is when it comes down to it. See if we can get a look at it. Running the triple option. And we see the reaction there of Mitch Apple, but I didn't see the hold itself. But that appears where the call was.
Sometimes the reaction's all you need, though.
Yeah, but because it was 7 yards downfield, it's actually a 1st and 13.
So Schwederman will throw to Hoyne. Nice spin move to get free as he's going to bring it up the far sideline. Room to run up to the 45, now close to the 50. As Dylan Hoyne going off right now for the Bulldogs.
And Sizzleman with a tremendous block on the perimeter on C.J. Reeser, who was trying to get in the play right away. And on screen passes, and I'm not sure everyone's always aware of this, but you are allowed to contact and block when the ball is in the air if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Now, if the ball was downfield, obviously you can't be blocking when the ball's in the air, otherwise that'd be offensive pass interference, but that's fair game when the ball's behind the line of scrimmage.
27-yard reception as Schwederman keeps it himself this time across the 50.
Quarterback keeper picks up top 4 in the Redskin territory.
And the clock continues to run.
So Celina, pretty impressive workman-like offense. You know, they're not, you know, gashing you with big plays. Obviously, that last 27-yarder was a pretty big one, but for the most part, you know, they're just, you know, having positive plays continuously, and they're able to move the chains.
Schwederman running this time, pitches it off to Merlin, and he's close to the sticks.
Schwederman pitches it to Merlin.
It's going to be spotted a little short, though.
Gibson.
But it's going to be 3rd and about 2, and you're in Redskin territory, so barring a negative play, you got to feel pretty good that either we're going to pick this up this play or we're going to go for it on 4th down and pick it up.
Schwederman hands it off to Merlin, Cole Merlin, and I think he's got enough for the 1st down.
And Merlin didn't like what he saw in the hole initially, and then he did a little jump cut to the outside and then went forward. That's kind of what you want from Merlin, but you need to have some penetration then at that point to be able to stop into the backfield, because once he gets that 200-plus pound body moving, he's going to be tough to take down.
Halftime quickly approaching. We'll see if the Bulldogs have enough in them to get a score here. Schwederman will roll out once again, looking for his receiver Hoyne. He's got him. Short yardage pickup, but it'll bring up a 2nd down about 5.
And the Celina coaches want them up on the line. They still do have 2 timeouts, but still no reason to hurry in terms of panic, as the Redskins are doing a quick substitution.
Schwederman rolling out once again, and once again he's got his receiver, and going out of bounds, Sam Smith.
So the Wapak defense doing a pretty good job of keeping the receivers in front of them and forcing them to, you know, settle for the 4 or 5 yard gains. And in this type of situation, that's what you want to do. You don't want to give up the large amount, but this does bring up a 3rd and about 1. So you get to look at Merlin there and some of his stats.
As flags fly and going against the Bulldogs.
And we saw this happen earlier in this game, most recently to the Redskins, where you have a 3rd and short. Now you don't see this called in college and in the pros because they have a chance to come back, but in high school, technically, if you break the neutral zone on offense, it's an automatic dead ball foul.
So makes it a 3rd and 6.
Crowd looking to the sideline are the Bulldogs.
Crowd starting to get into it just a bit here. 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions so far are the Bulldogs. Schwederman fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. That extra push at the end might just be enough.
And I'm willing to say that wasn't executed right by somebody because it looked like that was going to be some sort of triple option, maybe even called counter the other way. But there was nobody there to take that ball fake. That was like a look away pass to nobody. But there was actually the seas parted in front of Schwederman, as we saw in that great end zone replay. And, you know, maybe he just busted off the play himself.
It is a 1st down. Clock now runs. Schwederman rolling out. Now he cuts it back the other way. He'll keep it himself. Up the middle. Still not going down, and now his knee touches the ground at the 20. And it will be enough for the 1st down, so the clock will stop.
Yeah, but it'll stop temporarily, but Celina does choose to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
33 seconds to go, and a 14-7 advantage for the Bulldogs. And they want to talk it over as they've got some decisions to make. A score here would be huge for them going into the halftime break.
And Celina obviously would love to get some more points and go up 2 scores here. We were talking about their schedule earlier as they dropped their first week game and have gone on to win 4 of their last 5 to be 4-1 in the Western Buckeye League.
It's tough when you look ahead and you see you only got 1 more home game left on the schedule.
Yeah, that's one thing. 4 of their first 5 games were at home. So, you know, this is kind of a good way to rally because they haven't had a lot of experience on the road so far this season.
So out of the timeout. We'll see what the plan is here clock management-wise for the Bulldogs. Schwederman will throw. Looking for Hoying down the field, and he's caught immediately met with a big tackle dropped at the 5-yard line.
Well, Brady Erb had a great tackle there. It's still a tremendous pickup for the Redskins, or excuse me, for the Bulldogs, to get inside the 10-yard line.
They'll go quickly once again. Schwederman rolling out, looking for a receiver, again cuts it back. Now another cut. He's going to be dropped at the 3-yard line, and the clock will continue to run, and now looks like a...
They're going to use their last timeout.
Yep, the Bulldogs,
so
wisely so.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at a replay on that pass play. Again, a post pattern right into some traffic. That takes a little courage by Dylan Hoying because he knows he's going to get hit and to still be able to hold on.
How about the quarterback, though? Brady Erb delivering the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, a nice form tackle. And again, a lot of guys playing both ways for the Redskins, but they don't necessarily play full-time both ways. So Coach Moore makes sure he gets them kind of rotated in. But I want to point out now, there's with 16 seconds left, having used their last timeout, you know, I was kind of curious about Celina using the timeout when the clock had stopped, at least temporarily anyway, after that first down. If they were able to kind of hold on to that, they could still have 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Now you're in a situation where you can't get tackled in bounds more than likely and be able to get off a second play. So you either need to score a touchdown, incomplete pass, or out of bounds on this play.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, you remember last year against St. Mary's, the big goal line stand the Rough Riders had against them before halftime in that rivalry. eerily similar here.
Got Merlin right there as left slot back.
As the play clock runs, Schwederman sending Merlin in motion, and he'll hand it off, and walking into the end zone for the score. The Bulldogs give it to their main man, Dylan Hoying.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I would call that walking in.
Leaping in.
Kind of leaped in.
He plied in.
But, you know, that's actually a tremendous play call and execution, as they felt that they're going to run the ball to the inside, but instead came back to Hoying on the outside. And kind of a gutsy call, too, because if he gets tackled before he gets to the end zone, there's a chance the clock would have expired.
And Merlin adds on to the lead, 21-7. The Bulldogs now lead it. As we take a look at the replay of that one,
you can see that what they were doing was they were running action to the right-hand side, then came back with kind of a counter handoff.
Your cell phone is in the visitor's ticket booth.
All right, so he didn't walk it in, but it was a nice little jog into the end zone. We'll go with that one. As that's a big score at the end of the quarter. $11 plays, 77 yards. Only took them 2 minutes and 29 seconds to put that one together.
And really, I think both defenses, the coaches, got to be telling their defenses, you guys got to get off the field. You know, these double-digit play drives have got to stop. We need to get them stopped and get the ball back to our offense, as both teams have had really long scoring drives.
So with 11 seconds to go, the Bulldogs will kick this one off.
Kicking off for the Bulldogs.
It'll be Austin Cotterman, the freshman, kicking it off for the Bulldogs here. Last time out, they squibbed it.
Yeah, probably be a good idea to do that again here with 11 seconds left.
That's exactly what they'll do, as it's fielded again by Miracle at around the 30, and he's going to bring it up to the 40 with 6 seconds to go.
With return once again.
So we'll see what the Redskins do. You know, I don't think Erb's got the arm to be able to throw it all the way down on a true Hail Mary. But, you know, maybe they try to run maybe some sort of trick play, see if they can catch Celina off guard. You know, I know one of the more memorable plays in this series history was 4 years ago with that 4th and 29 that the Redskins picked up with
yeah, who can
Zach
forget
Murphy.
that?
It was an incredible play. That came on a little screen pass that just happened to pop.
As it will just be a handoff to Keck, although he's got some good yardage, gets the first down, but time has expired on the first half of play, and it's the Celina Bulldogs that lead it 21-7 after 2 quarters here at Harmon Field. Back with your halftime report after this.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Back here at Wapakoneta, it's halftime, and it's 21-7 as the Bulldogs are on top. Some great scoring performances from both teams throughout, and let's go ahead and look at our scoring recap for this one as it got started in the first quarter, courtesy of Brett Schwederman to Dylan Hoyne, 26-yard reception, 11 plays, 69 yards on the drive, and then it was answered by the Redskins' Evan Keck on a 5-yard run. That was a 16-play, 66-yard drive, and then the next 2 touchdowns belong to the Bulldogs. Wildcat formation, Merlin to Schwederman on a 15-yard hookup, and then it was the run-in by Dylan Hoyne from 3 yards out to give the Bulldogs their 21-7 advantage as the Bulldogs band out on the field. And now it's time for us to step inside Sadler's schoolhouse.
Never heard of, acting as you know as the Bruno Mars. And tonight we close our show with the lead football team. Unorthodox Chipmunk. Entitled
All right, what we're going to look at is the last touchdown run by Dylan Hoyne, and especially the run blocking and kind of a unique look that we're going to get. First of all, we're going to look at the down blocking. Logan Binkley at center is going to block down right here, and then Seth Houston, Jaden Braun is going to block down right here. And then instead of blocking this guy, Quentin Haynes is going to block out, and we're going to see Cole Merlin go up here and isolate on Bubba Miller. Now, while that's going on, action in the backfield is going to go to the outside, okay? And then that's going to replace this pulling guard who's going to come here to the outside. Now, go ahead and run it for a little bit. We can see that action take place, and then that block right there, Miller. Now, stop. The person that needed to stop this play right there is Rob Gerstner. He was totally unblocked, but he did not either see the action coming towards him or had his eyes, go ahead and run it, eyes on the action going the other way. So he gave up his contain, and Hoyne with a leap ends up getting into the end zone and gives that 2-score advantage to the Celina Bulldogs.
Always entertaining the Sadler Schoolhouse. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first half stats, Paul.
Yeah, we've had really long drives by both teams, but what that's really relayed in is the Celina Bulldogs, getting the better, especially with that last drive of the Redskins overall, 223 to 118. But what's really remarkable is their passing game. As I talk about some individual stats, Celina as a team is 9 for 10 passing, where Schwederman himself is 8 for 9 passing with 93 yards and a touchdown. Merlin obviously 1 for 1 for 15 yards in that touchdown that he threw to his quarterback mate. Rushing, Merlin with 46 yards, Schwederman with 42, lead the way for Celina. Dylan Hoyne receiving has 6 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. Wapak, although they do have 5 runners that have 10 yards or more, are really kind of being held in check in terms of big yardage. Keck leads the way with 32 yards on 1 touchdown.
Well, there's 28 points up on the board here at halftime, but 21 of them belong to the Celina Bulldogs as they lead it 21-7 over the Wapakoneta Redskins. Back with the second half kickoff after this.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Back here at Harmon Field, the second half about to kick underway. It's the Celina Bulldogs leading the Wapakoneta Redskins 21-7. Eli Alvarez, Paul Sadler alongside you. And Paul, we've seen this story before with the Wapakoneta Redskins going into the half down by a few touchdowns, but they've always seemed to get right back into it. And the thought is that they could possibly do it again here tonight.
Yeah, obviously they had the big comeback versus Kenton where they're down 3 touchdowns a few weeks ago. Then the week after that against Elida, they're down 12 in the third quarter and came back to win that game 36-33. So they have the confidence that they can do it, but obviously they need to show that they can stop this Celina offense when they're out there, and they would help their cause a lot by scoring this first drive and getting it back to a 1-possession game.
And they will get the ball to start the second half. The Redskins will.
Let's get a little look at Wapak Pajama Night student section.
Well, they've got this game and then last game of the year against St. Mary's at home, as this one's fielded dangerously at the 25, and luckily for the Redskins, they hold on to it.
And so here's a series notes. These teams have played every year since 1933. Wapak leads 52-36, and they've actually won the last 4, but they met for the first time way back in 1925. The Roaring 20s.
Were those good times, or?
They must have been, but you know, they've been playing through the Depression, a World War. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has not interrupted this series.
So the first play of the second half is a handoff for the Redskins, going to get only a gain of about 2. It's a Wapakoneta offense that first half they had a lot of possession, but on the year, over 2 hours of possession with the ball. You know, it adds up over time, but they're up there with one of the league best in holding on to this football. Zerb will pitch this one off to Gibson, looking for the edge. Gerstner sets a block for him, and Gibson's going to get it up to about the 32-33, and now a flag coming in late as Riley Gibson was roughed up at the end.
Yeah, just a little extra push there at the end, and I'm not sure that was 100% on purpose by Merlin, but the whistle definitely did blow, and then Gibson went down after the whistle, so definitely that's what they're going to call, and that's going to be an extra 15 yards tacked on to that run by Riley Gibson and going to be an automatic first down. Here we see the replay. Again, his momentum is stopped. And you see just again a little extra push there at the end. Not the most vicious 15 yards that you'll see, but foul regardless.
And in unison, the entire Celina defense looks befuddled with the call, as Erb is going to roll out after a fake, throws it in the direction of Gibson, and he holds on to it for the first down.
And I tell you what, there was a tight window that was necessary to get the ball there to Riley Gibson. I was watching his route. He was started his route on the inside dig kind of slowly, and then he accelerated across. And again, you can see right there with a great end zone shot that there wasn't a big window to get the ball in there. So had a great throw there by Brady Erb, who's really starting to improve as a passer.
Moves the chains, and Erb will hand off this time to Gerstner. Rob Gerstner trying to find the outside, and he's going to be ankle tackled close to the 35 by Stevens.
Yeah, and I tell you, Chase Stevens, we've called his name. He's playing a heck of a game on defense. He's been asked to do a lot. He's playing on the corner for contain, although listed as an outside backer, but it looks like he's playing a little bit more free safety. But still, he's been in coverage a lot and has done an excellent job. So he's really been helping the Celina defense tonight.
So 2nd down and 7. Herb will hand this one off to Apple. Mitch Apple running forward just across the 35.
And I tell you what, that takes a little bit of courage, the way that he ran. It looked like there might have been some space to the outside, but a lot of time that's kind of full space because that's when you get stretched out and you don't gain anything. But instead, Apple just decided to square his shoulders and go up and gain some positive yards and get some tough yards, and that gives them a 3rd and a short too.
As the offense comes to the line with about 9:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. It will be a handoff to Keck, and he's moving his feet. Did he get enough for the first down? I think he did.
I think he did, and that's all individual effort by Keck, because Logan Mullenkamp, who's one of the leading tacklers on this defense, hit him right at the line of scrimmage, which would have been easily short of the first down. We can see here on the replay, got some penetration, got hit right there, but his legs just keep turning and turning and turning and get that extra 2 yards to get to the first down.
So an impressive first drive of the second half for the Redskins. Handoff once again, and once again it's Apple. Gets it across the 25.
And again, a big hit by Stevens, but not after a good gain there, off tackle by the Redskins.
Well, and you touched on it a little bit right before halftime about both these coaching staffs pleading to their defense, please get off the field, and it's not going the way the Bulldogs wanted to start this second half.
No, but it's more imperative for the Redskins being down 2 scores to be able to get into the end zone.
Zerb will hand it off once again to Mitch Apple. Finds the outside, breaks the tackle. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, cuts it back, and he's in for the score.
Mitch Apple tiptoeing the sidelines for a 23-yard touchdown run. That's his 5th touchdown run of the year. And Mitch Apple, who didn't carry the ball a whole lot right at the beginning of the year, has brought that home run threat to the backfield, to the Redskins. And that's exactly what Wapak needed, was to come out of the gates, put together a drive, and find the end zone.
So Gessler will come on to make it a 7-point ball game if he can get it through the uprights. And he does just that. So it's 21-14. The Redskins not out of it yet. 8:45 to go in the third quarter from Harmon Field.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Took 8 plays, 75 yards, and Mitch Apple caps it off with a 23-yard run to get his Redskins back within striking distance. They trail 21-14. Eli Alvarez, Paul Sadler with you for this Week 7 contest as Beach will kick it off. Fielded close to the 5-yard line. As here comes Stevens the other way. Gets it, well, a late flag comes in and the pile still moving up to the 30.
That was about a rugby scrum. Almost every player in the game was in that pile.
We'll see what the laundry's about.
Chase Stevens on the return. There's a flag on the play. During the return, incidental face mask. Number 64 of the
So I believe that's the 3rd 5-yard face mask that has been called this evening on the Redskins.
Come on, D, let's go, baby!
Now, here's what it comes down to. Can the Redskins show that they can get a stop and get off the field? They have not proven that they can stop this Bulldogs team yet tonight. And at some point, if they're going to win this football game, they've got to be able to get off the field.
Schwederman will hand this one off. It's to Zizelman, and he's close to the first down. He's about a yard short.
Zizelman with a nice run here to start the half. Again, the second leading rusher on this team. Actually, check that back. He's the leading rusher on this team, although he's only 3rd in rushing yards so far for tonight.
The fact that, or the stat I should say that jumped out at me is that the Bulldogs tied for the league best 23 rushing touchdowns coming into this contest with St. Mary's. They've got 24 now after Hoying ran it in before halftime. And this is going to be a first down run.
Yeah, ball came a little bit loose, but official being adamant that the ball was down, that the runner was down.
So it will move the chains. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter of play.
Celina staying out there without a huddle like we see so often nowadays in high school football.
So with the fresh set of downs, Schwederman throws in the direction of Hoying. Caught, and Mitch Apple with the nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Mitch Apple had the touchdown last drive, and this time has a tackle for loss on the screen pass. I was a little curious. They were running Zizelman on kind of a flare. I almost thought they might have been setting up a hook and ladder type play. You can see some stats there on Mitch Apple. Again, another one of the two-way players here for the Redskins.
Schwederman will keep it. Now he pitches it out. Ball's free, and Bubba Miller jumps on it. Wapak gets it back, and that's the break they needed.
Yeah, they got the stop that they needed. That time, a little bit of help from the Bulldogs. To credit the Redskins, they defended as you see the replay. The triple option, they took both options away really well. And that forced Schwederman off his path a little bit, threw the ball, pitched the ball behind his runner a little bit, and that allowed Bubba Miller to be able to jump on the ball. And this could not have started any better this half for the Redskins as they get the touchdown, they get the turnover, and start now inside Bulldog territory.
Apple running once again. Mitch Apple staying on his feet. He's been explosive all night. And it just goes to show week after week, it seems like it's always someone different that just goes off for this offense.
Yeah, we've seen other nights where, especially, Keck, has some really big games. He's been held in check a little bit, and Mitch Apple's kind of taken a little bit of the mantle tonight. We see the strength into the near side.
Handoff to Bubba Miller. Why not? As he gets up to the 30, still running, pushed out at the 25.
Don't know if that's on purpose or not, but sometimes you like to get it to reward the guy that got the big play, to try to see if he can get a big play for you on the other side of the football. And we just saw that with Bubba Miller. And he's had 3 really nice runs tonight. Just a lead play out of the wing tee. Able to evade the first tackle, getting his legs out.
They'll go right back to him as he breaks another tackle, cutting back to the 20. Man, his adrenaline's going for him right now.
And I tell you what, they are really favoring going to the left-hand side, or the Redskins. That's where Apple's touchdown went, and the last 2 runs here to Miller have gone to the left. Even though you're going to the short side of the field, there's something that they like up here in the coach's box.
So second and very short. Miller already with 46 yards on 5 carries. Here's carry number 6, and that's going to be enough for the first down.
And that's going to move the chains once again for the Redskins. And this crowd for Wapak starting to get into it, and a little bit of almost a stunned silence for the Bulldogs on the other side. They were rolling here just 6 minutes ago of game time, up 2 touchdowns, and that lead is being threatened.
This will go to Apple, and he can't find the outside edge, brought down for a loss.
Excellent play that time, maintaining his outside end is Drake Langenkamp. Okay, only a sophomore at 6'3". So they do have some younger players, does this Celina defense.
We have an injured Redskin down on the field.
That's Brendan Knevy, a returning starter on the line at left guard.
Well, maybe he's just tying his shoe.
Well, that would not qualify as an injury.
I guess it would not, would it? As you get a look at the student section there.
Again, pajama night. Hopefully it's not past their bedtimes.
They're waiting for something to fire them up here tonight. Another touchdown would do that for sure. This will be a handoff to Miller, once again up the middle. This time only about 2 on the pickup. So the clock runs down now to 5:30 to go in the third quarter of play.
So again, no surprise, all ground-based so far. But we have seen tonight Herb do some things with his arm and with his legs. So here on this 3rd and long, you got to be kind of ready for everything as a Bulldog defense.
They break the huddle with Herb in the shotgun. Herb looking to throw. He's going to go to Chambers. He's got it, but it's not enough for the first down.
Yeah, we saw them complete that that comeback pattern on the sideline before, but you have to take into account how much they do come back. You can't really just go a yard past when you're going to come back several yards. So this is going to bring up a 4th down, as we see on the replay. It's a 4th and 3 from the 6th. You know, there is a school of thought, take a field goal, get inside one score.
The Redskins 2 for 3 on 4th down conversions tonight. It's going to be a pitch to Gibson. Gibson's going to walk it into the end zone for the score, and we're 1 point away from tying this one up here in Wapak.
And for the 4th time tonight, on a 4th down play, a team has found pay dirt in the end zone. Riley Gibson, our player to watch, coming through on that quick pitch play to the outside, utilizing his speed. And again, just midway through, just a little bit over midway through this 3rd quarter, the Redskins have a chance to tie this after being down 2 touchdowns. So the second half comeback kids are striking again.
Tied up at 21 here in the 3rd quarter from Harmon Field. The Redskins are cooking now.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Riley Gibson makes himself the 3rd different Redskin to find the end zone tonight as he gets in on a 6-yard run on 4th down, capping off an 8-play, 43-yard drive, and we're all tied up at 21 here in Wapakoneta.
And that's the one thing about this Redskin. There's not that one person that you have to keep an eye on. There's a stable of playmakers that are all capable of hurting you.
Stevens with the return for the Bulldogs. He's tripped up at the 25. Thanks to Astro Lanes once again for the pizza before the game. One of our favorite parts of doing games here in Wapakoneta. Give them a call, phone number listed on the screen. You know you can catch Paul there after every Wapak game. Great pizza as always.
And you know what? Their pizza's great, but their wings are worth checking out too. It's a little tidbit out there for you.
As we will see the Celina offense once again after the turnover on the last possession. We'll see if they do any more pitch plays or if they stay away from that for a little while.
Well, you got to do what you do. You just have to execute it.
Schwederman will keep it himself. Gets it close to the 30-yard line. Gang tackled by the Redskins.
I mean, you have to understand, the only time you've been stopped you turn the ball over, which, yes, the Redskins kind of, contributed that with their penetration, but you didn't pitch the ball and execute. It's on you, and that's what the message from the coaching staff would be. If we just execute our stuff, they haven't shown that they can stop us. We just have stopped ourselves.
So 2nd down and 6 for the offense. Schwederman will roll out to his left, looking deep. He's got Stevens down the field, and he overthrows him. Riley Gibson was right on him as well.
There's two guys we've called their names a lot. Stevens has been involved in quite a bit, and Riley Gibson also been involved in quite a bit. Tremendous coverage, as just really no one open on that pattern, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down. By the way, that was only the 2nd incomplete pass of the night for Celina. Schwederman still an impressive 9 out of 11 passing.
The Bulldogs tonight 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. They need 6 yards to get one right here. As Schwederman will roll out once again. Cuts back, now he's going to keep it himself. Trying to make a move, he breaks one tackle, spins out of another, and he's got the 1st down.
And Schwederman, we've seen other athletic quarterbacks that can make plays, but, Schwederman's just got a little extra dynamic to him. We've seen McAdams the last 2 weeks, 6'3" and athletic. Schwederman's only 5'9", but he's almost got scat back moves as a quarterback.
Schwederman this time will hand it off to Zizelman, and Kyle Zizelman only a gain of about 3 before he's brought down.
Zizelman, the ball carrier.
So, with the exception of falling on that fumble, Zach Miller defensively, has kind of been held in check in terms of protecting Schwederman. We've seen him in other games versus Shawnee specifically, but, other games too, getting very involved and getting pressure on the quarterback, and we haven't seen him in there. Although there he is again. Another Thunderbolt recovery is Miller.
And the Redskins get it back again, and they're just piling it on the defensive end as they're feeling it right now.
The 2nd straight possession where there's a fumble, and once again, this comes off the mesh. Ball comes out. Miller sees it right away and jumps on it. His 2nd fumble recovery in as many possessions. I was kind of talking about how he's being held in check, not getting to the quarterback, but if you're going to fall on loose balls, that's all right.
It's the offense back out there for the Redskins. It's a handoff to Gerstner. At the 40 is where he's going to be pushed out of bounds.
And Merlin's going to get credit for that tackle, but once again, Stevens was the one that met Gerstner and kept him from going anywhere. But still, I guess who would have believed it if the Redskins, with 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, would be tied up and have the ball in Bulldog territory for the chance to potentially take the lead. But then again, Wapak has been doing it all year here at Harmon Field. That's kind of par for the course.
2nd down and 10. Handoff to Keck as he moves forward to the 35, and you talked about how Evan Keck sort of kind of been held in check tonight, but he's had Riley Gibson and Mitchell Apple to take his place.
Yeah, and again, Keck, the leading rusher for this team. He's a hard runner as a sophomore. Again, a two-way standout, starting at middle linebacker as well. But as we get a whistle.
So an injury timeout, we'll take one as well. Minute 24 to go in the 3rd quarter, all tied up at 21 here in Wapak.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you. Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs.
Back here at Wapakoneta with a minute 24 to go. It's 21-all, and after the injury timeout, the Redskins back out there. Eli Alvarez, Paul Sadler alongside you for this one. We've got a good one brewing to this point. Back-to-back turnovers by the Celina offense has Walpock feeling it right now, as it's a handoff to Keck up the middle on third down, and he's going to be just short of the sticks.
You know, that time they used Gibson as a little bit of a distraction. They ran him in that short motion, trying to influence the linebackers to think that he's going to get the ball in the pitch again, and ran the ball to Keck up inside the tackles instead. Again, 4th and 2. We've seen a lot of action happen on 4th down already tonight.
Redskins 3 of 4 on 4th down conversions tonight,
with 2 touchdowns.
As now Erb gets out from under center to look over for the play, and with 5 seconds left on the play clock, the Redskins decide it's best to take a timeout. So since we got some time, Paul, why don't we go ahead and do your favorite segment?
Yeah, it's trivia time, and I think I already got AJ because we did get a little predictable, I think, so we did switch it up a little bit. Walpock has beaten Celina 52 times. That's more than any other opponent, AJ. What school not currently on Walpock's schedule have they beaten the most? Now, I'm going to give you some hints here. I'm going to give you some hints. It's not Celina. It's a team not on their schedule, so it's not a WBL team, not Bell Fountain. It is a team that is in the area, so they would be considered in this area, but they have not played them since 1963.
I have a guess. I'm gonna go with a MAC school maybe.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Coldwater.
Coldwater is an interesting guess, and he goes with Delphi St. John's.
I'm not confident in that answer.
So, well, back to action. We got a big 4th down play.
23 seconds to go in the third quarter. Crowd on their feet here at Harmon Field on both sidelines. And the snap is loose on the ground, and trying to make up for it is Erb, but he's not going to have the first down, and the Bulldogs will take over.
So a fumble snap derails any chance of executing that 4th down play for the Redskins, and the Bulldogs are able to hold the Redskins after that last turnover.
So possibly the big break the Bulldogs needed after turning the ball over quite a bit on their end.
Well, here's the answer. The answer is Ada. The Ada Bulldogs, they have beaten 15 times, more than any other opponent that's not currently on their schedule. The all-time series is actually 15-15-1. So maybe they need to schedule the Ada Bulldogs sometime to break that tie.
That's a good one. You got me there. As it's a handoff to Zizelman.
Now both of you guys had good guesses because you both named teams that were formerly in the Western Buckeye League. Coldwater, once again, was in the Western Buckeye League for about 15 years. And the Blue Jays, Delphi St. John's, my alma mater, was in the WBL for about 10 years.
See, we're learning, because if I'm correct, Week 1's trivia was about teams that used to be in the Western Buckeye League that aren't anymore, or something to that extent.
Well, the only thing I learned is I can't make it an obvious answer where it's just the teams that are playing here.
Right, it can't be Celina or Walpock. Has another handoff to Zizelman, and looks like he's got the first down to Payne on the spot.
Yeah, wrestled out of bounds that time by leading tackler Jacob Place.
Well, now they're going to say he is just a little short. Nope, they are going to move the sticks. So Coach Moyer a little frustrated with that 4th down play, but now he's looking to his defense to get a stand. Clock is down to 8 seconds. Possibly the final play of the third quarter. And it will be a handoff once again to Zizelman. He's got a hole, gets the first down, and clock will stop for just a second while they set the chains. But it looks like we also possibly have an injured Redskin on the field. Mitch Apple slow to get up, but now he makes his way back to the huddle.
But I tell you what, this is going to set up for a tremendous fourth quarter coming up.
So we've played 3 here in Wapakoneta, and we're all tied up at 21 apiece in this Week 7 contest. Back with the fourth after this.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency, offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Bands playing, fourth quarter's about to start, 21 apiece here in Wapakoneta as the Celina Bulldogs facing a 1st and 10.
And this is what high school football is all about, a tight ball game between 2 top teams in the league.
Merlin is going to get it off the sweep, and a host of tacklers bring him down after only a gain of 2.
And you're going to need a host to be able to take Merlin down. Usually one-on-one is not a good idea with that man.
We talked about his athletic ability, not only on the football field, but on the basketball court. His quarterback, Brett Schwederman, the same thing as well, as he's pretty explosive out there with the basketball. But as you said, a few months away. They got to deal with a 2nd and 8 first. As Schwederman was looking to go deep, and instead he dumps it off to Hoyne. Hoyne breaks a few tackles and gets close to the sticks, about a yard short.
Yeah, what they were trying to do is they were running that stack on the top side, which was they ran the quick screen out of. They tried to bait the Redskins into thinking they were running that quick screen instead of running that guy deep. But the Redskins doing a really good job staying deep and keeping people in front of them, and it wasn't open.
The Bulldogs tonight 4 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. They got a 3rd and 2 staring them right now, and they pick it up with Zizelman as he gets up to the 25-yard line.
Zizelman having a heck of a second half.
Well, he came into this one with 78 rushing attempts. That number's gone up significantly.
And he's capable of hitting some big plays. He does have a 95-yard touchdown run versus a tough Ottawa Glandorf team that they won that game 14-7.
Schwederman will keep it himself this time as he lunges forward, getting a few extra yards.
And that's a little quarterback counter. Back when I was a coach, we used to run a play like that where you're running the triple option, in that case to the right-hand side, but you're also just going to go ahead and cut back to the left.
So 2nd and 6, ball at the 24. Schwederman keeps it himself. He was looking for the pitch, and he's brought down. However, a flag comes in.
But the flag is kind of away from the play. That might be in the area where you would normally see holding, but I believe that was Colin Goulet. Gets into the backfield and makes the tackle.
And it is holding against the Bulldogs. So
that will be his 4th tackle for loss on the season.
So it moves him back.
And then couple that with another sack that he had earlier. You know, with the loss in the play, I'm not always guaranteed that you would take this.
I was just about to ask you that. Would you have declined that? Because it is still 2nd down, and if you wouldn't have, it would have been a loss, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, but they decided to take it, and you know, it's 2nd and going to be about 16. So, and it does push them further out. I mean, because you have to take field position into account.
The ball spotted at the 35-yard line.
Get trips to this near side.
Schwederman rolling out, finds Hoyne, and it's a nice pickup up to the 30, and it'll bring up a third down now in about 12.
Again, a little short gain. They're running the trips, and they're running Hoyne, who's from the middle, kind of crosses with the inside slot receiver just to find a little dead space on the inside, but not a lot of yardage. Taking the penalty pays off now because the 3rd and 14 was more than it was going to be before.
Schwederman rolling out, once again looking to throw. Can't find who he's looking for, so he'll take off. Some nifty moves and dives forward, but well short of the first down.
You know, I feel pretty comfortable in saying I'm not sure we've seen a quarterback quicker than Schwederman.
Now, we've seen a lot of explosive quarterbacks, that's for sure.
You can look at there's somebody down, but watch the replay. He doesn't see what he likes, and then he does not hesitate at all, and he is just very quick.
Is Sam Smith, the injured Bulldog, but he is able to hop up and get off the field. But going back to your point about the quarterbacks we've seen, Johnny Caprella from Shawnee, we've seen Isaac McAdams from Elida. All those guys have the ability to run the ball, but you are right. Schwederman has been extremely explosive here tonight and showing why, as he just keeps cutting back defenders.
Yeah, I remember the Bell Fountain back to week 1, running back was very athletic too, but either way, something else, you know, another big key from tonight is another 4th down, and we've seen a lot of magic, as I mentioned, happen here on 4th down tonight.
So 4th and 4, ball on the 22-yard line, as the Bulldogs will keep the offense out there.
So a
Crowd
big
is on
play
its
here
feet
tonight.
Schwederman by himself. He's going to roll out, looking to throw. He's got his man down the field, and it's complete, and it's enough for the first down.
Branson Miller, a junior, first time we've called his name tonight.
They snuck him out there pretty quick and got him involved.
And he's able to not only pick up the first down, pick up a lot of extra yards, shaking off that first tackle attempt by Chambers. In a big 4th down conversion for the Bulldogs, their 3rd of the evening.
10-yard pickup for the Bulldogs on that pitch and catch. They'll hand it off to Zisselman. Miller pursuing him, but he gets by him, then tackled down around the 6. And the Bulldogs threatening here in the red zone.
Bulldogs were held scoreless in the 3rd quarter, looking to try to get in the end zone to retake that lead that they lost in the 3rd quarter.
So a 2nd down, 5 from the 7. As stoppage for equipment. Looks like someone on the Celina side, maybe something wrong with the face mask.
Another one of those double-digit drives in terms of plays. This is the 12th play of the drive. Even though it's a tie game, Celina enjoying almost a 90-yard advantage in terms of yardage. You get some look at the Wapak faithful.
Look at the quarterback, Brett Schwederman, talking about what he's done not only tonight, but throughout the season.
Yeah, with his legs, and again, he's been super accurate passing the ball. He's 12 for 14 passing.
As I think they got it sorted out, so back to football. Schwederman will pitch it off this time. Coming the other way is Hoyne. Now he cuts it back and breaks the tackle. Chambers can't bring him down, and Hoyne gets in for the score, and the Bulldogs lead it.
Once again, Hoyne finds pay dirt again in the same end zone, other side this time. And what an individual effort. Obviously, the play was supposed to go to the left. And this time, he doesn't like what he sees, and he cuts back to the right. Chambers has a chance to make the play. He gets into his legs, but isn't able to hold on to make it to get the player down. And the Bulldogs retake the lead here in the fourth quarter.
PAT on its way, and this one is good. So it's a 7-point lead for the Celina Bulldogs with 8:17 to go in the fourth from Harmon Field.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
The Bulldogs cap off a 12-play, 67-yard drive with a Dylan Hoyne 7-yard run to make it 28-21. And it's now Walpock's turn to try to answer it, as it's been an exciting one so far here in Week 7.
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty fortunate with the way the schedule has worked out. We've seen a lot of exciting games, and this is no different. As you know, we were talking before here in the break. You know, this is almost an elimination game in terms of WBL title and possibly playoff aspirations as well for both of these teams. But the winner still has a lot of that in front of them in terms of playoff and the WBL title hopes.
Another squib kick. Bubba Miller's going to field it this time, and he's going to bring it up past the 40, so not bad field position at all for the Redskins.
Well, obviously, the Bulldogs are concerned about the return game of the Redskins and giving up the big play, because they're not concerned with allowing good field position on the squib kicks.
Is it that they're concerned with Walpock's return game, or is it they're concerned with their special teams getting down there in time?
Well,
maybe a little bit of both.
Could be a little bit of both, but usually it's, you know, we don't want this guy to beat us on a big return. You know, let's make them have to earn it here on offense, and while it's not making them go 80 yards, they still have to go 60 yards.
So Herb back out there gives it to Mitch Apple. He's been a force tonight, but this time the Bulldogs defense able to stop him.
A nice play by Drake Langenkamp. And kind of a good blend of youth and experience for the Celina defense. Langenkamp only a sophomore. And they have a lot of juniors that start for them.
Second down and 9 for the Redskins. Crowd trying to get into it as we approach 7.5 to go. Herb will pitch it to Gibson, trying to get him some space to move, and he's going to be brought down shy of the 50.
So again, getting to Gibson to the outside. We saw them score a touchdown on that earlier. Again, trying to get the ball in the playmaker's hands. We can see right here, running the short motion, getting to the outside. Nice block there by the outside, and hooking his man is Tyler Jenkins.
So this 3rd and 2nd with the ball, the 49. 3rd and 2, excuse me. As it will be another handoff to Miller, and Bubba's got the first down and then some across the 45.
I'll tell you what, between Miller and Evan Keck, you have two runners that are difficult to send backwards at all. They always finish going forward. And Miller has really put his stamp on this game with 2 fumble recoveries on defense and some impressive runs offensively. So that's 60 yards on only 8 carries for Bubba as he remains in the game at fullback.
And Herb will keep it himself this time and throw it as he's going deep down the field to Gibson, and it's knocked down at the last second. It looked like for a moment that Riley Gibson had a big play.
Yeah, Sam Smith was there, and Gibson on kind of a slow developing route kind of took his time, then tried to explode by Smith, and he did. Ball probably could have been thrown a little bit further so he didn't have to stay and turn it into a jump ball. But nice job really by both players fighting for the football.
So they'll try it again here on second down. 6:18 remaining in the ball game. And it will be a dive play to Miller, and he runs into the official and gets the first down.
And Miller right there on the trap play. We haven't seen a whole lot of traps so far tonight from the Redskins, but they are very effective so far running between the tackles. And we see some more trying to fresh bodies for Celina being ushered in.
After the 12-yard pickup, first down from the 32. Herb will give it to Apple. Apple room to run as he's up to the 25 and still moving.
You know, technically, you know, the two running backs in there are not the starters. Gerstner and Keck are the starters, but by having Apple and Miller in there, you know, those two are just as effective as any starters are, and you really got a thunder and lightning combination there in terms of power and explosion with Miller and Apple.
As the clock continues to run down, still a lot of time left. We'll go back to Miller. This time they wrap him up. Well, they did. Now he's still moving, and he's not going to go down easy as he's close to a first down.
Yeah, again, the second effort, we'll see where it's spotted at. He definitely did not have enough initially.
Note to self, never assume that Bubba Miller is going to be tackled.
And it is a first down as he's getting a much needed break over there as Miller.
I mean, he was going backwards.
And it's not going to get easier for the defense as Keck is back in the ball game and has got some fresh legs.
And that's who they'll give it to, as it's a short gain for Keck. You know, we talk about Keck and what he's done this year statistically, and again, he's only a sophomore. So when he can have seniors like Bubba Miller doing some work for him and helping him out, and Mitch Apple to go along, it really goes a long way for him as well.
So again, with under 5 minutes to go, you almost got to think that this has to be the drive. You got to be able to put the ball in the end zone, Eli.
Apple forward for a minimum gain, and it will bring up a third down.
So what that would mean is your decision here on third down is going to be influenced by understanding that you don't have to get the first down here because you're going to go for it on fourth down because you have to get in the end zone this late in the game.
Well, only 40% tonight on third down conversions are the Redskins.
Yeah, but that's been bolstered because they've been pretty effective on fourth down if it need be. Single coverage up top with Gibson.
Herb will throw, looking for Gibson, and it's almost intercepted. Luckily for the Redskins, it falls harmlessly to the ground.
Yeah, they had what they wanted, single coverage up top with Smith on Gibson. However, Smith ends up jumping that slant route and interrupts the pattern of Gibson, and now that's going to bring up a huge fourth down.
4th and 7 for the Redskins. They're 3 of 5 on fourth down conversions tonight.
And remember, 2 of those have turned into touchdowns on fourth down.
Herb in the shotgun with Keck next to him. It's a throw all the way. looking for Apple, and if he hung on to it, it's a first down. They're going to say he caught it.
And what a clutch throw by Brady Erb, who took a lick on that throw. Nice low throw where only his receiver could catch the ball, Mitch Apple. And the Redskins are going up on the ball right away, trying to take advantage of some momentum here with Bulldogs not being set.
Will be a handoff to Apple. Moving forward down to the 1. Is he in? Yes, he is. And Wapak now a PAT away from tying it up.
And no hesitation from Coach Moyer. Going to go kick the extra point, not go for 2, as we have seen some WBL teams do this here in this situation. But Mitch Apple with a tremendous catch and then follows it up very next play with a rushing touchdown. And what a ball game.
Gessler on to tie this one up. Kicks on its way, and he does just that. So Mitch Apple runs it in for his second touchdown of the night, and we're tied up at 28 apiece here at Harmon Field with 3:36 to go in the fourth quarter.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here in Wapakoneta, we're all tied up at 28 apiece in this Week 7 contest between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Celina Bulldogs. Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler with you. As on the kickoff return, it's Stevens for the Bulldogs. Another penalty marker comes in as Stevens gets dropped at the 25-yard line. And as Mitch Apple, second touchdown of the night, 7-yard run capped off a 12-play, 59-yard drive. And we've got an exciting 3 minutes and 27 seconds left for you.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs' effort's going to be hampered by that holding call. That's going to cost them 10 yards.
Against the Bulldogs.
And again, talked about the importance of this game in terms of the winner is going to be the only remaining team that has one loss in the Western Buckeye League. Each one of these teams have the opportunity to play St. Mary's to knock off the top undefeated Rough Riders in the Western Buckeye League to tie for the league title themselves. Only 3:27 left and a long way to go, but in a tie ball game, this can go either way.
The Bulldogs will be at home against the Rough Riders next week. You can find us there. Schwederman gets it to Merlin. Gets some blocks in front of him, and the defense does a good job getting off of them and stopping Cole for no gain.
You know, something I think that they're setting up is a potential double pass situation, because when they're throwing that pass, they're making sure a lot of times it's either backward or close to being backward, so where they could end up throwing a double pass out of that situation. That being said, a nice defensive play there by the Redskins to start off Celina with a negative play.
Schwederman looking to the sideline. Not sure what he wants to do as they have to call a timeout. Play clock was getting down dangerously low. And right now the Bulldogs offense not clicking.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule of these two teams. and kind of the road ahead, as we were mentioned how important this is in the Western Buckeye League in terms of both of them tied one game behind the Rough Riders.
Well, I think
so. We'll look at Celina here. As we mentioned, they had that as a non-league loss, and then the 2-point loss to Elida. Next week at the they host the St. Mary's Rough Riders for their last home game of the year, then finish at Van Wert and at Shawnee. Obviously, these 2 weeks are pivotal in their chances to potentially make the playoffs or win the Western Buckeye League. Over at Wapak, you see they dropped the first 2 games and then won the last 4. They host Celina, then go on the road at Defiance and improving Ottawa Glandorf for their very tough defense. And then they finish the season with the home game against their Auglaize County rivals, the St. Mary's Rough Riders, here at Harmon Field.
And that Van Wert game was very winnable for the Redskins as well. They ended up shooting themselves in the foot down the stretch of that. Otherwise, they could be undefeated right now in the WBL. But it's not the case, as Schwederman's going to be dropped. He maybe got 1, if that.
And Nathan Shade got one of the cleanest hits that we've seen on Schwederman, and all night long, Celina has avoided the 3rd and long, but here they are.
And the crowd over here on the Wapakoneta side isn't going to help them out. And you see the big play there by the defense. Play clock running down. Schwederman gets it off. He'll keep it himself. Room to run, and he takes a lick at around the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to be short, and Coach Moore is going to call a timeout. But what a hit, because he was going down, and then I believe it was Keck able to kind of hit him towards the top and almost bend him backwards. Look at that hit. Nice clean hit with the shoulder, although it was hit kind of high because he was going down. But that is going to bring up a 4th down and 2. And Celina not going to waste any time by putting the punt team out there. But let's reset the situation here, Eli. 157, the first 3 and out of the game I can remember for either team going to be here is going to ideally give very good field position for the Redskins. They have 2 timeouts in a tie football game.
Now let me ask you this. It may be crazy. Any chance at all that it's a fake out of the Bulldogs?
With a new first-year coach, it's hard to tell because he doesn't really have a lot of body of work. I would say that'd be really, really gutsy.
Right.
Inside your own 25-yard line. With the exception of the first 2 plays, you've been pretty good in picking up more than 2 yards. That's one of those where, as a coach, you would get crucified if it doesn't work. So you're going to do the percentage play and punt. But then you're going to have to depend on your defense now.
So Cole Merlin will come out to punt it away for the Bulldogs.
You got Riley Gibson deep.
And Merlin will get it off as it bounces at the 45, keeps rolling. Gibson thinking about picking it up. Now he backs away as it gets down to the 30. And that's where it'll stop at around the 28.
And why it's easier said than done, we've seen this before. Fielding that punt in the air saves you so much field position, even if it's a fair catch to where you don't get any return yardage on it. At least you don't lose the yardage on the bounce. So the Redskins, going to have to pick up a lot more yards than they might have initially thought with 1:43 left and 1 timeout in their pocket.
Well, we've had 1 overtime game this year. Shawnee St. Mary's earlier. That was an exciting one. Minute 43 for the Redskins to not go to overtime. We'll see what they can do. As Herb under center once again gives it to Apple. Up to the 30, and he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Clock will continue to run. A little extracurriculars going on afterwards with Gibson and Hoying. No flag.
Last thing you want to do on either side right now is hurt your team with a 15-yard penalty, because that could potentially cost you the game.
So it's a 2nd down and 3 now. Clock down to a minute 15. Another handoff. This one not going anywhere for Evan Keck.
Evan Cat, the ball carrier.
And again, Gibson and Hoying get tied up. This time Hoying loses his helmet, and he has to go out for a play.
And that could come into play now because now you're taking out one of your starting defensive backs. And sometimes you might want to attack that new guy that came in that hasn't really been in the ball game.
Now, the official stopping play for a moment. Another equipment issue, it looks like, on the Celina side of things, or so it seems. Nope, they got it figured out, and the clock's running now. The 3rd and 1, clock down to 35 seconds. 4 of 11 on third down conversions tonight are the Redskins. We'll give it to Apple. He'll go forward. Did he get enough for the first down, though? He's still up.
And he reestablished his position, so I'm not sure he's going to get all of his forward progress. Tyler Ross was the first one there, and he is going to be short. And the clock's going to continue to run. And overtime's looking really possible here now.
Looks like both teams are content at the moment with just letting this one go to overtime and seeing how things turn out. And you know what? We're okay with it as well. So 4 quarters and still no advantage on either side of the scoreboard. 28-all is our score as we head to overtime when we come back here on Game Face Ohio.
The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today. Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Back here at Harmon Field, 4 quarters wasn't enough, so we get some free football as we're heading to overtime, tied up at 28 apiece here between the Redskins and the Bulldogs, Paul.
Yeah, and the last time Celina has gone to overtime was last year against Lima Bath in week 3, where they won 21-14. The last time Wapak has went into overtime was that memorable 2014 regional final game against Trotwood Madison that actually went 4 overtimes. Now, obviously overtime rules, if you're not familiar with it, is on the screen right now. The coin toss is going to happen here soon. Play is going to start at the 20-yard line instead of the 25 like it is in college. Usually teams on the coin toss decide to get on defense first so that they know what they need to do. So if the other team scores a touchdown, they know that they have to score a touchdown too. If the other team doesn't score, they know that they could always kick a field goal to potentially win the football game as well. If it goes after a tie after the first overtime, they switch, and whoever had the ball first would then be on defense first.
Well, this is our second overtime game of the year here on Game Face Ohio. We covered the Shawnee-St. Mary's game earlier this year, which resulted in St. Mary's winning because Shawnee went for 2 after one of their touchdowns and did not get it. And that's going to be one of the big questions here tonight. Will either of those teams try that tactic if they're able to get in?
Well, remember, Celina did something similar to that with Elida in regulation. So we'll see what happens. You know, that both teams have reliable kickers. There we see a couple seniors for each team. Wyatt Moyler, the starting center for Wapak, and Cole Merlin, the starting about everything on for Celina. Fans starting to get into it now. They're loving the free football. Well, it looks like Celina's going to start with the ball first. And they're going to go, and I'm sure the student body is disappointed. The action is going to be away from the Wapak student body.
Maybe a wise move.
And first-year coach Brennan Bader, you know, in a dogfight here at Harmon Field against Wapakoneta. Again, the 3-time defending Western Buckeye League champions looking to keep pace with a win here to potentially win their 4th. Whoever loses here is going to need some major help to get back into the Western Buckeye League. So this is, again, an incredibly large game for both squads.
Again, next week we will be at Celina for the Battle of Grand Lake, as the Rough Riders will travel to try to get a W there against their arch rivals. That's always a great game every year, no matter what the records are for both teams. But
yeah, so arguably the most intense battle in the Western Buckeye League, the battle between those two teams.
Right up there with St. Mary's Walpock. But first, both teams need to take care of business here tonight. So the offense will trot out there first for the Bulldogs. Again, no game clock, just the play clock to worry about. As on the first play of overtime, Schwederman will hand it off to Zisselman. Kyle Zisselman is going to be knocked back for no gain.
And again, we have not seen the Bulldogs being stopped like this up until the last 2 drives. They've been very effective. Something that we haven't seen a lot of here lately, as we see them kind of stringing it out with Apple making the play. We haven't seen Merlin carry the ball here recently. And remember, Dylan Hoying has been very effective with 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air.
The junior Schwederman rolling out once more. He's looking for Merlin down the field, and he went in his direction, but falls incomplete as he was being pressured from Zach Miller.
So for the 2nd drive in a row, something that never happened before, a 3rd and long after 2 negative to neutral plays to start a drive. And to start overtime here, this is a crucial 3rd down, a 3rd and 11 for the Celina Bulldogs.
Just something to think about. Cole Merlin's attempted on this year. He's made 1 of them for 31 yards.
And if they would not gain any more yards, this would be about a 38-yarder. So
Peterman will come with an empty set. To throw. He's going to have to use his legs a bit to get out of trouble. Deep in the end zone, and it's caught. Dylan Hoying bailing his team out with the touchdown.
His 4th touchdown of the game, and that one was in the miraculous zone as he is slow to get up as he took a shot. But off his back foot, Brett Schwederman threw up what I would consider a prayer, and it was answered as things were not going Celina's way at all, and they were able to get that touchdown.
The last 3 touchdowns have all been from that man, Dylan Hoying.
Look at that catch, and he gets hammered there by Riley Gibson. As he's still on the ground.
Well, he held on to it as he walks off under his own power. Credit him for holding on to it. But now comes the decision.
Well, I don't see them. Well, actually, maybe they are getting ready to kick. Yeah, they are definitely going to kick.
It's confusing because Schwederman's also the holder.
Yeah, and Merlin is the kick. So, I mean, and he was holding the tee in his hand, so that's why I didn't see it down.
So to try to make it a 7-point lead. It's Cole Merlin.
Oh.
And he whiffed on it, missing the point after attempt. And now if you're Walpock, all you got to do is score and kick the PAT to win it.
And this ball, we'll see. Hopefully we can get a good replay at this. This ball never got more than a foot off the ground. It was what golfers would call a worm burner. said, hopefully we can see a replay on this to kind of see what caused that, because the normally dependable Cole Merlin has only missed one PAT prior to that all season long.
Well, just maybe some pressure put on him as you get a look from that angle there.
I mean,
a big spot to ask him to put that one through. Nothing's automatic in high school football. Showing why right there, as now the Redskins get their crack at it here on offense in their first possession of overtime.
Well, and from both standpoints, Celina just has looked at, we just have to keep them out of the end zone. We win the football game. You know, Wapak obviously still needs to score.
Miller with the carry, and Zach Miller getting a good chunk of yardage down to about the 12.
Again, the stakes are so high for these two teams, Eli. You can see the Celina Bulldog team, arms linked on the sideline, showing some unity here.
Second down and 2. It's going to be another handoff to Miller. He's following behind some blockers. He's got the first down. That's the most important thing, up to the 9. They're starting to feel it here in Wapakoneta.
So this is what it comes down to. There's a maximum of 4 plays. If Celina can prevent Wapak from going 9 yards in the next 4 plays, they win the football game. Obviously, with just 1 play, Wapak going 9 yards can win the football, will tie the football game, and then kick the extra point for the potential win.
Miller gets it again. This time short yardage, but it's some as he gets it up to about the 7.
And Coach Moyer going with the hot hand with Zach Miller, getting the lion's share of the carries here late in the ball game.
Some nervous people on both sidelines, on both sides of the field. As possibly almost a
must have got back. Otherwise, if he was in there, he should have called. They would have called that.
Herb will hand it off to Rob Gerstner. Gerstner with some room as he gets it close to the 3-yard line, and it'll bring up now a 3rd down.
So again, 3 yards in 2 plays. You know, who's going to want it more? Who can get either the stop or the execution to get into the end zone?
This is about as good as it gets for high school football, folks. Down to the wire here in overtime.
Everyone here is on their feet.
As we've got a timeout taken by Celina. They want to talk things over as they desperately need a stop on these next 2 plays. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one, 34-28.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
3 yards needed for the Redskins to get in here. They got 2 plays to do it as they trail by 6 in the first overtime.
It'll be interesting to see what running backs that Coach Moyer sends out there. I would be shocked if it's anything besides, you know, some good hard running physical football. You're going to have Bubba Miller and Rob Gerstner are the runners that are out there. You also got a double tight end look with Goulet and Meeks.
Don't forget about Gibson. They've run some sweet plays to him here tonight as well. Herb will give it to Bubba Miller, and he's going to be pushed back. And the Celina defense coming up big, and now one play to decide the ball game.
And Tyler Ross, for the first time all game, Bubba Miller has been taken for a loss. And with forward progress, it's going to be just inside the 5-yard line, but all kinds of penetration running there to the short side of the field. So obviously this is the ball game, and Coach Moore is going to call a timeout, kind of talk it over with his offense and offensive staff up here. But again, Eli, as you mentioned, it doesn't get any better than this. This is one play, one way or the other. Either Celina is going to win this football game after this play, or Wapak's going to have the opportunity to kick the extra point to win the football game after this play. You have a tremendous atmosphere in terms of both schools, well represented with terms of their crowd. You have high stakes in terms of where the winner of this game is going to still remain one game behind the Rough Riders for second place, with a chance to still play the Rough Riders to play their way into the league title. And the other team is going to be hurting after this game.
If you're Coach Moyer, do you have that one play in your playbook that you circle and you say, this is when I'm using this for this type of situation, or do you go back to something that has been working all night?
Well, truthfully, you're a little bit further out, but if you have a 2-point play that you like to use, this is still the area where you do it. Normally 2-point plays at the 3-yard line. This is just inside the 5. So for the most part, you have those 2-point plays that you like to practice, and this will be a time to use it. Whatever your go-to 2-point play is what I would consider doing.
Well, we'll see if they line up in any unusual formation.
In terms of skill players out there, you got Gibson out there, you got Chambers out there, and looks like they're going to keep Gibson in the backfield, at least initially. Wouldn't be surprised if he motions out somehow.
Herb in the shotgun. There he goes. Gibson. Herb's going to roll out, looking to throw. He's got Gibson, but he overthrows him, and that's the ball game as the Bulldogs are celebrating tonight. They just knocked off the Wapakoneta Redskins in overtime.
And that breaks the 4-game winning streak in this series that the Wapak Redskins enjoyed. And the Celina Bulldogs are going to remain a game back and hold on to second place all by themselves after this win.
It took overtime, but we finally got a winner. It's the Celina Bulldogs taking it 34-28. Back to wrap things up in just a few here on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. What an exciting finish in overtime. It's the Celina Bulldogs knocking off the Wapakoneta Redskins 34-28. Now it's time to take a look at our Merit Real Estate professionals. Take it to the house, play the game. And it's going to be the touchdown that sealed the victory for Celina. Dylan Hoyne, 21 yards on the first possession of overtime, taking a shot and holding on to that one. And the Bulldogs eventually missed the PAT, but it didn't matter because the defense stood tall. Now let's take a recap and look at our full scoring summary. All the touchdowns from tonight's game. It started first with 7:33 to go in the first quarter, a 26-yard reception from Hoyne. That was one of 4 touchdowns he ended up having tonight. Redskins responded with a 5-yard run from Keck. Then back to the throwing game, Wildcat formation, Merlin to Schwederman on a 15-yard reception. Then the Bulldogs scored once more. This time it was Dylan Hoyne running it in from 3 yards out. Then it was the Redskins' turn to do some work on offense, as it was the speedy Mitch Apple in the third quarter. 23-yard runs, capping off an 8-play, 75-yard drive. That was followed up by Riley Gibson on a 6-yard sweep play. 8 plays, 43-yard on that one. And then another Dylan Hoyne rushing touchdown, this one from 7 yards out. That took them 12 plays, 67 yards to score. Redskins then on the Mitch Apple touchdown tie it up. We go to overtime, and once again our take it to the house play of the game is Dylan Hoyne, 21 yards reception to give the Bulldogs the victory in this one. Paul, let's go ahead and take a look at our stats for the contest.
Yeah, and obviously a very exciting game, and Celina overall has a slight edge in total yards and a lot of first downs, so a lot of long drives for these two teams, and they did survive those 2 turnovers. Individually, you had a big team effort, even though you had a decent amount of yards for both teams. No one over the 100-yard barrier in terms of rushing. Schwederman led the way with 71 yards, Zisselman with 69, Merlin with 48. Hoyne not with a lot of yards, but 2 touchdowns rushing. Most importantly, he's got a total of 4 touchdowns, and that last one in the air was one of his 2 receiving touchdowns. Had 10 catches on the evening for 114 yards. Schwederman finished tonight 13 for 16, which is an impressive percentage, for 133 yards. Wapak Erb was 5 for 11 passing for 44 yards. Miller led the way with 87 yards on 14 carries. Apple had 72 yards on 14 carries. Keck had 47 and a touchdown.
So again, our final, 34-28. Celina is going to be partying on the way home tonight, as next week you can catch us in Celina, as we'll have the Grand Lake rivalry between St. Mary's and Celina. The Rough Riders able to pick up a 49-0 victory this week against the Bath Wildcats. So big thanks to all our guys in the truck, Adam, Todd, and Nick, all our camera operators, AJ Lisi on stats, and of course for Paul Sadler, this is Eli Alvarez saying thanks for tuning in to Game Face Ohio.